Shalom. This Saturday night through Monday evening, we begin the holiday of Shavuot, the Festival of Weeks. It's the only biblical holiday that has no actual date on the calendar. We arrive at the holiday through a ritual daily counting that takes place from the second day of Passover for 7 weeks. We've been doing that every evening at synagogue. What also makes Shavuot so unique is that it's the only holiday that has no biblical event tied to it, at least not directly. All the pilgrimage holidays have an agricultural connection and a historical moment tied to it. For example, Passover. Passover is both a celebration of spring and the planting season, as well as the moment God liberated us from Egyptian bondage. Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles, is in the fall, and it commemorates the final harvest, but also the story of the 40 years of Jewish wandering in the wilderness under the promise and protection of God, culminating with the entrance to the Promised Land. Now, with Shavuot, we have a holiday mentioned in the Torah, but only of seasonal importance. It is called Yom HaBikurim, the day of the first fruits. It's also called Chag HaKatzir, the day of the reaping. But there's actually nothing connecting Shavuot to a single historical event. That is, until our sages step in. Our rabbis of old wanted to create a direct link between the holiday of Shavuot and an important biblical event which has no actual date mentioned, surprisingly so, the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. And so just as each of the other two pilgrimage holidays are connected to a historical event in the lives of the people of Israel, the rabbis took the counting of 7 weeks and then connected it to the 7 weeks between the Exodus and the revelation of Mount Sinai. And so today, the holiday of Shavuot is the holiday where we celebrate both an agricultural aspect, but now the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. Now that's all well and good, but it only gets us so far. And the reason I say that is because Shavuot lacks not just a date, but any rituals. I mean, think about that. With Passover, we have so many rituals that surround the holiday, from matzah, bitter herbs, the commandment to retell the Exodus story, which we do so in great fashion with the Seder. The Feast of Tabernacles, the holiday of Sukkot, even more so. Sukkot actually is the holiday with rituals on steroids, pardon the expression. I mean, we use various agricultural objects, from a palm branch to a myrtle, a willow, a citron, and then we eat, sleep, and enjoy the entire holiday joyously, looking under the stars, under a fantastic temporary hut, which we build each year for the holiday called a sukkah. Shavuot, there's not a single ritual. There's no date. And there's not even a fixed location. We don't even know precisely where the giving of the Torah happened. I know, mine's Mount Sinai, right? But that's a range of mountains. And to this day, we really don't know which mountain the Torah is referring to when it says Mount Sinai. So here we have Shavuot. No place, no date, no rituals, nothing. So here's my question. I think the rabbis are right. The giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai, the revelation, is an event that should have been commemorated. And if the narrative timeline is correct, Shavuot is when it happened. Well, if that's the case, why doesn't the Torah itself connect the two with the dates? Maybe throw some rituals along the way. Here's an answer, and I'm not original here. But in our tradition, we are taught that the event of the Exodus is a moment in time, and that's to be commemorated. The story of the Jewish people's adventures on the way to the Promised Land, also a historical event to be commemorated. The giving of the Torah, you want to say that's a historical event? No, that's not an event. It's experienced. And it happens each time we open the holy text. The giving of the Torah, the Mount Sinai experience, is not a historical event, nor does it have a fixed place. Because in our understanding of the Torah, revelation and the encounter with God through the teachings of the Torah is found every day when we take God's words seriously and study them carefully. Our sacred text is a living document, and it lives when we study it. It's not to be some holy text to be hidden away in an ark, removed and paraded once a year with rituals and ceremonies. Nor is it a tome to be locked away in some hidden secret chamber to be studied by scholars. The Torah, the Mount Sinai experience, is alive, and it is given to us each day when we open the text. We experience it, if you will, for the first time every time we open the Torah. We grow each time we stand at its feet. Today, tomorrow, the next day. Every day and at any place is Shavuot for us, the giving of the Torah. Now on Shavuot, we remember a historical moment, but perhaps the Torah is teaching us that revelation is not about a moment, but a regular, daily encounter and experience. We remember Mount Sinai on Shavuot, but we are all standing at the foot of Mount Sinai each day when we study the words given to us long ago. With this video, I will be taking some summertime off and will return soon for another year. I want to sincerely thank you for watching these videos week after week. They're now numbering well over 40. I appreciate not only the time you have spent listening to my humble words, but the many who have taken the time to react and even comment. I hope to use the summer to recharge and get ready for another year together. So to both my congregants and out-of-town friends and those who just tune in week after week, thank you. Chag Sameach, a happy Shavuot, and Shalom.